everyone, and welcome to our Touch Base Thursday for February 10th. If you are joining me, please comment and tell me hello, and I am going to get to the same page here, and we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. So let me see. There I am. Yay. All right. So anyway, please comment and tell me hello. Hi, Carol. Carol, you're the first one in there tonight with the comment, so welcome. Welcome, welcome. Again, as you join me, please comment and tell me hello, and we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. Hi to Patty and Misty from Meyer. Oh, she's getting her grocery shopping done. Hi, Denise from Nevada. Oh, I like it when you guys live out of Michigan. Tell me where you're from. So I'm going to introduce myself in case I'm new to a few of you, but I am Kim Vogel, and I'm a demonstrator in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, which is right in the center of Michigan. And I do my Facebook Lives every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm happy to have all of you follow me and join me live for my videos. Hi to Peggy. And a lot of you are already sharing. I love it. So if you're new to joining me, if you share my video, you get entered into a drawing to receive free products. And I give away a couple little embellishments or ribbon every single week. So we will draw those people in just a couple minutes. Hi to Courtney and Maureen from Delaware. I love it. So those of you that watched me last week, you may have remembered me telling you my voice is getting a little bit hoarse. I ended up getting a little bit of a cold last week, and I'm just getting over that in the last couple of days here. So I'm still a little raspy, but that Thursday night was the beginning of what I had. It was probably like a 3 or 4 day cold. And I actually totally lost my voice on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So anyway, my family had an enjoyable weekend because I couldn't talk to them much over the weekend. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by telling you guys a few announcements that I have. So my big announcement for the night is, and I almost posted this out there on my page and decided that it just made sense to announce it here on my Facebook Live. I officially today earned the Stampin' Up incentive trip to the Baltic Seas. It's a cruise. Hopefully it happens in 2023. This is the fastest I've ever earned that trip. We have a year when to earn it. The Stampin' Up year began October 1st and it ends September 30th. And I'm just amazed at how fast that kind of happened for me this year. It's based on our sales. It's based on our leadership. It's based on all kinds of different things, how we run our business when it comes to our team, that sort of stuff. Anyway, as of today, I officially have earned that, and I'm just in awe over that it happened so fast. So anyway, I just thought it was a good time to announce it. Thank you guys as all those compliments come in. Couldn't do it without all of you following me, ordering from me, supporting me in my little gig, I call it, because I don't like to call this my business. As most of you know, I work a full-time job. This is my fun job. And I think that's what I do, is just try to keep it fun. And then the success just kind of follows it. So anyway, I just thought it was fitting to announce that here tonight on my Facebook Live. But it just happened at Courtney, I almost told you when you and I were talking earlier, Courtney and I were messaging earlier, and I almost told her, but it just happened at about 3, 4 o'clock today. So, I mean, it's literally fresh off the press that this just happened. So anyway, so that's my first big announcement that I wanted to mention. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, and I should have mentioned this last week. Thank you, all of you, for your congratulations. I appreciate it. But Stampin' Up announced a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't mention it, so I'm so sorry. But they have the magnetic platforms for our machines coming out in the new annual catalog. So I'm really excited. I know a lot of you have been patiently waiting for those magnetic platforms to come. And they announced to us a couple weeks ago that they are going to be in our catalog. So I'm so stoked for that. So if you've been waiting patiently for the magnetic platforms for our new machines, they will be here. Yay! So I apologize that I didn't tell you guys that little bit of an announcement a couple weeks ago. Any of you that are my paper pumpkin, that's a good one, a jobby. I like that. That's what I need to call mine too, because I love doing it. And that's, I think, by me keeping it fun and not looking at it like it's a business, I think has kind of helped me become the demonstrator that I am, because I don't want to feel like this is my job, you know? Anyway, Paper Pumpkin increase. If any of you have, both machines both machines are going to be having magnetic platforms. But if any of you are my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, you would have gotten an email from Stampin' Up. There's going to be a slight increase in the Paper Pumpkin cost beginning in March. It's going to go to $23.50 from $22. So just want to make sure you guys know that. A lot of that has to do with the global shipping issues, getting the product here and all that kind of stuff. In the email you would have gotten from them, it explained all of that. So you would have seen that. If you have any questions on that though, please let me know. I'm happy to talk to you about that as well. And then this weekend, please keep my little Claire in your thoughts as she competes in her first ever solo ensemble. So if she scores high enough, she'll move on to the state. So I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed, although her professor that she takes lessons from told her, don't put that pressure on yourself, Claire. If you score a 2 or a 3, you've done a great job. So she competes on Saturday morning, and her piece is beautiful. I'm sure I'll be posting it to Facebook, so you guys will be able to see it, or hear it, and see it, I should say. So wish her luck. And then next week, so this was a kind of a blessing in disguise, but Natalie is doing her dance team. So this is her senior year, and her dance team will be done in a couple of weeks for the varsity dance team at school. And she's been trying to find a guy to do the girl guy dance. They do a girl guy dance at halftime. And everything kept falling through. You know, guys are, you got to find the right person comfortable. And I get it. Guys are shy to get out there and dance if they don't have any dance experience, things like that. But it fell into her lap this week that my friend Jen, who's my assistant, and I don't know why we didn't think of him, she's got a son who's a sophomore, and she's like, I know Braden would be happy to do this with Natalie. And so she called him last night, and he is. So I'll make sure I post that as well, because Natalie will be doing, and she's known Braden since he was little, so it's kind of, not going to be uncomfortable for her. So, but she was the only girl that didn't have a partner. And so we were really worried that she wouldn't be able to do it, and the coach was going to have her sit out, which I was frustrated with. Like, her senior year, you're going to make her sit out just because she can't find someone to dance. So I'm excited to see that now. And she's going to be working with Braden one-on-one this weekend to get him caught up, because he missed a few practices because she couldn't find someone. And sometimes, I guess the moral of the story there is, sometimes you got to look in your own backyard for people. Like, I didn't even think about him. We were thinking of all these different people, and one of her really close friends that did it with her a couple years ago, he's on the ski team, and he'd had to miss too much ski. So he was bummed that he couldn't do it, and she doesn't have like a lot of guy friends that she felt comfortable. Anyway, long story short, we learned a lesson. Like, sometimes you just gotta think about things a little bit differently and go like, oh my gosh, yeah, that works. So anyway, but that's what I have in the way of announcements. It's been kind of a busy week for us. And Claire has her last practice tonight with her professor, which might start at the end of my Facebook Live, to fine-tune her piece before Saturday. So she'll be driving downstate about an hour to St. John's, which is where our district performances are. And then from there, we wait for her score and go from there. But anyway, can't wait to hear her play. She's been doing a great job. Okay, so as I mentioned, if any of you share my video, you get put into the drawing to receive goodies. And again, my voice is still a little scratchy, so bear with me. It sounds worse than I feel. Like, I feel just fine. But we have 2 winners of our stuff from last week. So the winner of the faux sea glass shapes is Patty Fike. So congratulations to Patty. And then the winner of the Genial Gems is Maureen Wheatley. And I know that, Maureen, you were watching, so hopefully you are still here with me and you heard that announcement. If I don't have your address, Patty, I'll get you yours. I know I see you, you live locally, but Maureen, if I don't have your address, please send it to me in a private message, and I'll get that in the mail to you. Okay. Up for grabs this week, that I will draw next Thursday during our Facebook Live, is the adhesive backed hexagons. And remember, I used these, they paired together really nicely with the nuts and bolts stamp set. And then I have a bolt of the ribbon we're going to be using tonight. This is the Very Vanilla Lace Trim, one of my favorite laces, or favorite ribbons. It's so elegant. I love it. I love it when you ladies tell everybody else congratulations. That's just, it melts my heart. Okay, I mentioned, if you saw my post yesterday, I think it was, or maybe it was the day before, I mentioned that I had a special giveaway. So I'm going to tell you about my special giveaway. My special giveaway is a couple of stamp sets. Now they're identical. These stamp sets are stamp sets as part of Celebration, but you have to put in a $100 order to get one of these, right? And so I have a couple extra, and I decided that I want to give them away. And what better time to give them away when I knew I was going to be close to earning the trip. I didn't think I'd have it yet today. So I was going to offer this to anybody who helped me put in an order to earn the trip. So I decided to do something different because I wanted to just thank all of you that follow me, watch me, support me, come here every Thursday, watch me. So what I would like you to do, and if you're watching on replay, you can still participate in this. You have until next Thursday, to my next Facebook Live. But I want you to comment something. You have two options. I want you to comment maybe something that you like about me as a demonstrator as to why you keep coming back. I love it that you keep coming back, but I'd like to know, like, or what I could do to improve, or something you might like me to showcase on a Facebook Live. Okay, so those are the things that you need to do to participate in the drawing. All comments that I see focusing on those questions. Again, it was maybe something that you enjoy that I do as a demonstrator that keeps you coming to me. Something maybe I can improve to be a better demonstrator for you. Or third, something you'd like me to showcase on a Facebook Live. And then 2 of you will get your name, or 2 of you will win these stamp sets, okay? So it's a little bit of a giveaway as a thank you for all of you being who you are and coming back every week. Oh, thank you, Beth, my little Halloween, my Valentine's Day nails. Okay, so I told you guys what's up for grabs next week. Couple other things I have is classes that are open for you to still register for. My sympathy card class is open. If you haven't seen that class, I meant to grab the cards and totally forgot to. But those cards are gorgeous. If you haven't seen them, I use the Symbols of Fortune Designer Series paper. My otter class is still open. So is the daffodils and the rainbow cards, okay? My online retreat for cystic fibrosis is open. That will be closing soon. I only have a couple of kits left for that. So the link has been in the description of my videos the last couple weeks for my Facebook Live. So usually I get to it the next day, but I put out there the links to different classes and things like that. So they're in the description of my video. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that, so that you know that those links do appear miraculously, usually the next day though. And then the All Together bundle, if you're interested in that bundle, the blends are currently on low inventory. Now they are going to be coming back because they're going to be carrying over into the new catalog. Oh, you guys, I can't read all these comments right now. I'll have to read them all later, but I love it. But if you want that bundle right now and you want the blends right now, you're going to want to order that soon. The blends are on low inventory. Everything else is not, but the blends are. So just wanted to mention that as well. I think that about covers everything. I just want to make sure you guys know that it is Celebration. And I'm still looking for a few people to take advantage of that starter kit promotion and join my amazing team. You get a permanent 20% off on your product. So it's a really good deal. And I'm not here to tell you I am not one of those pushy team leaders who tries to convince you to just keep buying stuff. I truly believe that it's a great deal for anybody who loves Stampin' Up! Product. Why not get a permanent discount? So if you want more information about that, let me know and I can get you that information. So with that, I'm going to transition my camera down. Tonight I'm going to be sharing with you the Daffodil Daydream bundle and Daffodil Daydream. I keep calling it Daffodil Medallion. I don't know why. So anyway, I'm going to be sharing this bundle with you. I've got a cute little 3D project that I hope I don't completely botch up when I make it, because I just made it again right before my live with all of you. And then I'm going to showcase some cards that I created. And these cards are actually a current class that I have available for you. So yeah, and Beth is one of my team members who met me online. I'm going to talk about you for a minute, Beth. She met me online through Facebook. We've bonded, became friends. She joined to get the discount on her product. And she actually comes to she's came the last 2 years to my annual team retreat that I do in October. And so she's got to meet everyone. And that's part of what I love about what I do as well, is the friendships and the people that I meet along the way. So anyway, with that, I'm going to transition my camera down and let's have some fun making some pretty projects. Okay. So bear with me here as I move this down, you're going to get a little sneak peek here of the product, or the things I'm going to be showcasing. And I'm going to unplug my speaker so that it doesn't sound completely muffled like I was a couple weeks ago. Okay. Alrighty, so with that, let me showcase. Got to reach one more thing. Okay, let me showcase the product. So this is the cute little box we're going to be making. Isn't that thing just adorable? Okay, let me scoop my stuff down just a little bit. Okay, and some of the cards we're going to be making. But first I want to show you the product, okay? I love bingo. Bingo is my favorite. My online bingo, as Courtney mentioned, is my most favorite event of all time. So if you haven't done my online bingo, you need to give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so the products I'm going to be showcasing are the Daffodil dies. Let me get my little 3D project out of the way. And the Daffodil Daydream stamp set. Now this bundled together sells for $54.75. So the neat thing is, you can get a celebration item by purchasing this set. So you have all of the awesome little stamps and things. And then my dies have already been well loved because I've used them on so many things. I meant to put them on one of my magnetic sheets, but so you have stems in here, which you're going to see me showcase. Okay. Yes, Beth, it is the box that she showcased for team meeting. So I'm going to give Pat the kudos to that one. And then we have all these different little pieces and parts to make up the flowers, okay? And I'm going to kind of go through this with you because they all coordinate together. So you have a solid, then you can put a little layer on top of it. Same with these. You have some butterflies in here. This one right here will cut out this stamped image. You have one to cut out this stamped image. You get tons of dies with this, and I mean tons of dies, okay? So the neat thing is if you purchase this bundle, like I said, it's $54.75. You can qualify for a free celebration item. One of the celebration items that you can get is a coordinating designer series paper that goes with this. The paper is called Daffodil Afternoon. And I'm sure you've probably seen it out there if you follow other demonstrators or if you're on Pinterest. I'm sure you've seen lots of projects made using this beautiful, beautiful paper. And I love it. Now I'm going to also show you a card that I created not using the daffodils because one of the papers has daisies on it. So I incorporated using the daisy punches. We have the big and the little one. So you're going to see me and showcase that and kind of bring that into play here as well. Okay, so with that, we're going to do the box first. So last night or Tuesday night was my team meeting, and Pat, one of my team members, showcased this cute little box that holds some chocolate in it. Now she made hers themed Valentine's Day. And so I asked her if I could share this with all of you tonight on a Facebook Live. And I know that she got it from another demonstrator, and I'm trying to remember who she told me, and I don't remember who to give credit to, but I know there are so many people out there that do different projects and duplicate them, make them all a little different. So this, I just used some designer series paper, and I added a little bow to it. I didn't even add a to and a from. Now there's no adhesive on this whatsoever. It just kind of tucks in here and holds together. So when you open it up, you have some candy in here. This is is it the Mercedes candy or I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But this will also hold the chapstick. It can hold like a little Kit Kat bar. It can hold all kinds of things. You can even get creative with your measurements and try to make it bigger so that you can have it for other things here as well. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this box, because once we do all the scoring, it just gets folded up. And you literally fold this down and that part in on each side. And the same thing here. And you have a cute little box. Oops, this has to go down and in, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to make this, okay? So Beth, you're gonna find out right now, so yay, right? Okay, so we're gonna start with a piece of designer series paper. So I cut a piece of paper from the Daffodil Afternoon paper. And this piece is cut 3 3/4 by 4 5/8. Now I will have the measurements for this project as well in the description of the video, so you'll be able to do this as well later on your own. Okay, 3 3/4 by 4 5/8. So 4 5/8, in case you're wondering, is just 2 little marks past the 4 1/2. okay? On the short side, so when I say short side, it means the short side up in the trimmer. Okay, so on the short side, we are gonna score this at, make sure I get my cutting blade out of the way, because the first time I made this, I cut the paper. So we're gonna score this at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, we're gonna score it again at 1 1/2. And then again at 2 1/4. And then again at 3. All right, then on the long side, so this is the long side up at the top, we are going to score it at 3/4 of an inch, and then at 3 7/8. So 3 7/8 is just 2 little lines to the 4, okay? So at that point, I'm gonna move my trimmer out of the way. We need to do a little bit more, scoring. But that has to be done with a ruler. Now, I didn't run upstairs and get my plastic ruler, so you're gonna see me use an old ruler that my kids used to use for school. So bear with me on that one. But I hope you can see the score lines here. So we have like 3/4 of an inch score lines for the box. And then what you're gonna do on the 2 inner ones, so you have the middle, you're gonna go to the next one and the next one over, and we're gonna draw a diagonal line to the center. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put my ruler here on the corner of that, and I'm just going to carefully, using my bone folder, make a line from the point to that point, okay? And they might not be perfect on my Facebook Live, so it might not fold up the greatest, but you'll get the gist of it here in just a second. So you just wanna try to get it as perfect as you can to line up. So hopefully you can see there that I just did little score lines, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, not the middle one, but the 2 on the outer side of it. Not the ends, but the 2 on the outside of the center. Again, going from the one to the other. Oops, that one I have off a little. Let me redo that one. Because if it's off, it's not going to make the best box. So if it doesn't make the best box, you guys bear with me. Usually I pull these closer to me so I can see them better. But it's hard to do when I want to make sure that you guys can see it. So again, from this point to there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, hi Pat, what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna fold on all of the score lines, okay? So I'm just gonna fold all of these really, really good. And then I'm gonna also do the same thing on the other side. Yes, I can, Beth. So we, Pat had another really cute box there. Pat Laudenschlager, one of my team members, had a little box with a hinge on it as well. So yes, it is my goal to also showcase that one. So what I did is I scored on, folded in on all the score lines, and then I'm just going to make sure I fold and pinch on these little half ones I did as well. And you want to just make sure you get that burnished really good. So I'm just kind of going back and forth. It'll make the fold process a little bit easier when I go to fold this. So I'm just kind of pinching that really, really good. Gonna do it on both sides. Okay, you can kind of see it's just kind of giving me a good little form there. And the better you score that, the easier it is to pinch that. Okay, let's see here, and there we go. This one, and we'll go back. Okay, so now what you're gonna do, and I need to grab the candy out of the 2 that I have, because I didn't buy any more candy, because yours truly does not need the candy. You're gonna put whatever that you wanna put inside your little box in the center here. Okay, and then you're just gonna fold the one end up and around, and then you're going to fold this side down, and that goes down as well. You see that? And we're gonna do the same thing. I may have those candy out a little bit too far. There we go. Same thing on this side. Push that in, fold that down, and then you're gonna do the same thing on this side. So it comes around, and we're gonna do the same thing here. Push that in, make sure that one gets tucked down. Whoops. You got to kind of play with it a little bit because that one needs to go down and that one goes in. Can you guys kind of get the gist of it? It's really quite simple. So you just put that one in and that one goes down. And I told you I scored it a little bit funky, so it's not going to fold up the greatest, but there you have it. Thank you, Courtney. So you can see that I used no adhesive whatsoever to fold that and to get that all into place. And then from there, you can design it or decorate it any way that you would like to decorate it. So on mine, I just added a little bow to the top because I was trying to actually find my stamp set, like the ones I'm going to be giving away, and put a little for you on here on a little strip of paper. But I couldn't find my stamp set and I didn't want to open up a new one. But isn't that adorable? So you could fit, you know, Tootsie Roll in there, all kinds of different things in there. And it's a cute little surprise and delight gift to hand out to different people. And they're very quick and simple and easy to make. Okay, so that's what I thought it was a really cute box when Pat did it at our team meeting. And so I just had to share it with you guys tonight as well. So thank you, Pat, for sending me those directions today. All right, so the first card I'm going to share with you is this one right here. So again, when I design my cards to share with you, I like to kind of showcase a little bit of everything that the Stamp Set and Dies has to offer. So with this one, I'm showcasing the complete dies, not any of the stamping. This is all die work, and then I just made it an Easter card. So I used the 30 Flamingo for my card base on this one. So I'm just going to fold that in half. And then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper cut 5 1/4 by 4. I love that designer paper. And then what I did is when I made my flower, I just made the piece of Bumblebee and Very Vanilla wide enough to kind of hold that flower, okay? So these two are just going to get adhered together and get adhered down to my card. You can see I have ribbon around this. So I'm going to want to assemble my flower on this before I adhere that down. So the first thing we're going to do, and I have my awesome caddy here, is I'm going to adhere this piece down to my card base. Okay, I'd love to hear the feedback. Those of you that got caddies, what do you think of them? Do you love them? Lucas asked me today if everyone loved him, and I told him that they did. But I got to tell you what he's going to be working on. I just need to take him to him. So he's going to be working on taking him in some of our blending brushes. So I don't know about you, but when I start using the blending brushes, I like to kind of I use them a lot for greens and blues to make grass and skies and clouds. And I don't want to have to keep washing them out. And if I just put them in a bin, the ink gets all over the place. So he is going to be trying to design a holder, a stand-up holder with spots for the handles to go in, that you just put them in, and then you can have the blending brushes. You can mark them with whatever color they are, and then you can have them handy all the time whenever you need them. So I'm hoping that works out well. If it does, oh yay, you guys, you love your caddy. I'm so glad. So if that works out well, I'll be promoting them here as well for him. But that, because I told him that's the next thing, that my blending brushes are a mess. So anyway, okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and build our flower on this. And I know poor Janet is waiting patiently for her caddy. It is here for you, Janet. I do have it, I just didn't send it. Okay, so for this one, I cut some of the, Janet's one of my local gals. So if any of you were like, who is she talking to? All right, so this is just, and I did cut some of these down, okay? You can see that I did. These are all the different stems to kind of show you how easy those stems kind of go together, okay? And what I did is I cut some of these down. So I'm gonna cut them down right now. Oh, I will definitely let you guys know because like I said, oh, I'm glad Janet says she'll survive. It is here in a bag for you marked Janet, I promise you. Yeah, he gets so creative with that 3D printer. I'm so impressed with him. I just am. So those of you that are wondering who I'm talking about, it's my friend Lucas who I work with and his hobby. So we all create pretty cards and his hobby is playing with his 3D printer. And his wife came with him the one day to drop off the caddies, the last batch that I had. And she said, it's actually been kind of nice to see him do something productive with those printers. And I just thought that was kind of cute. So because he's been making all kinds of things, she said. So I thought it was cute. All right, and so I'm just gonna kind of layer these on here. And I'm just using some liquid glue. Again, the adhesive sheets would be great for this. I cut out my projects for my Facebook Lives, usually when I'm cutting out my classes, so it just makes it easy to just kind of cut one extra. But you can see that right there. Okay, now I'm going to show you how easy it is to assemble the flower. Now on here I used Daffodil Delight for my card tonight. I chose to change it up a little bit, and I'm using some So Saffron mixed with the Bumblebee, okay? So these are all the pieces and parts to the card. So, the tulip. let me move them out of the way here. So you have, this is the same piece, it's just cut out twice, okay? And then you have this cute little decorative piece that you can put here on top of it, kind of like the veins to your leaf. So I'm gonna add a little bit of adhesive to the back of that. And again, I'm just using a little bit of this liquid Tombow glue, and I'm gonna adhere this onto this. And by changing out the color and making it a little bit darker, it kind of just gives some dimension to the flower. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other petal. And then we're going to put the two of those together. So it looks difficult, but it's really not. It's just a lot of cutting out with your Stampin' Boss die cut machine. But it's so fun. Now, would I want to make like 50 of these cards? Probably not, would I, if I had to. Usually I like to do like stamping stuff when it comes to that. Now, if you wanted, again, more dimension and depth to your card, you could put these together with a dimensional. I'm just going to put them together, again, with a little bit of the liquid glue right here in the middle. And then you're just going to kind of crisscross these like so. Okay. And then my final two pieces are these right here. So I have a solid white, and then I have the bumblebee on top. And then that's just gonna go on top of here and off to the side like it's a tulip, you know, coming out of the petals there, or the flower, the center part. So I'm gonna add a little bit of adhesive to this as well. So like I said, it looks difficult, but once you kind of break it down, it's really not. Okay, and then that's just gonna go on top of there like that. Lines up perfectly, and then that's gonna go onto your card. And I'm, again, gonna just use a little bit of liquid glue. You could use glue dots, you could use the dimensionals to add more depth to this, but I'm just kind of keeping it simple. Look at how pretty that is. Now I am gonna use, did I call this a tulip? It is a daffodil. I see you guys commenting daffodil, so I'm wondering if I said tulip. I designed with tulips not too long ago, so that's why I have tulips on my head, in my mind. Okay, so anyway, daffodil, daffodil, daffodil. All right, so I'm just gonna put some dimensionals on here. Oh, I'm glad you guys keep me straight. I really appreciate that. And then I'm just gonna adhere this onto my card, like that. And then we're gonna put some ribbon around this. So again, I use this really pretty ribbon. This is one of the ribbons that I'm gonna be giving away next week, again, just by sharing my video. And I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive on the ends of this. I have found that this ribbon does not work the best with glue dots. So you have to either use the seal, or I like to use my liquid Tombow glue. But I do find that we're working with this ribbon for Natalie's open house invitations, which I promise I will showcase on here once we get them completely finalized. But she's doing sunflower themed, so we're working with sunflowers and this ribbon. And so we have found that the glue dots just don't seem to work the greatest for us on that. So we've been using the liquid Tombow glue for it. But yeah, can you believe she's going to be graduating? So we already have her open house date set of January 4th. Okay, it's not November, it's not January, it is June. June 4th, oh my God, you guys. And then her graduation is June 5th. So we're doing her party the day before. I can't do two things at once with talking and remembering dates. But anyway, then I used our double oval punch. So this is in the annual catalog. You have the solid, the smaller one, and then the one that goes inside of the scallopy one. And so I just stamped the Easter blessings using the black Memento ink. And then this is going to go on your card with dimensionals as well. Now this would also be a really good Mother's Day card. So in the stamp set, you only have the two sentiments. You have Mother's Day and Easter blessings. But again, you could use sentiments from many other different stamp sets that you own and make this card anything that you want. It'd also be a good sympathy one, anything, you know. Now on my samples today, I used the pearls, but I'm gonna change it up and I'm gonna use the polished dots. So I'm just gonna put a couple of the little pink polished dots down here on the bottom of my card. So one big one right there, and then just one little one. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a different look. So pretty, right? So pretty. Okay, so that is using the dies straight out, just the dies. This next card that I'm going to do is going to really focus in on the designer series paper, because this paper is gorgeous. Let me find it. And it is a really simple and easy card to do, and just kind of by letting the paper do the work for you on this one. So this piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper, maybe I didn't show it to you. I might not have been in my, let me see if I have it in my kit here. I used a ton of it because I used it on so many, oh, it is in here. Okay, so I should have shown you guys this a little bit in more detail. This 12 by 12 right here is similar to other paper that we've had, where you can cut it down the middle at 6, and then cut these into like 5 1/4 by 4s, and you have perfect little pieces of paper to make cards. You could also, I also did this with a scrapbook layout. I used a full 4 inches of this on a scrapbook layout to make a scrapbook page. So it's gorgeous paper just in and of itself. And so I decided to take advantage of that and make a card with it. Okay, so this card is so simple. On this one, I pulled in the Mossy Meadow cardstock for my card base. And then I wanted to pull out that yellow. Since the yellow is in the center of so many of those cards, or those flowers, I used a yellow. And then I have the designer series paper cut 5 by 3 3/4. Now again, one of my little tips for all of you is I told you that, I like to do layers. So can you see the difference that looks by adding in that yellow? So a lot of times I see so many people just adding, and not that it's wrong, by just adding designer paper to your cards, but the layers behind, by picking a color that pops with a card, is just, look at that, it just makes that pop, right? And again, you don't have to have a ton of stuff to make this card cute, right? You just need the paper, a couple packs of coordinating cardstock, and voila, you've got a card. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to adhere this down to my bumblebee. And then I did add ribbon around the bottom here, using, again, the scalloped ribbon. Okay, so, and this piece of scalloped ribbon, I don't like it. It's all flat, so I don't want to use it. I'll use it on something different, but not to show all of you guys. All right, so then I'm just going to cut this a little bit bigger than the piece there. Again, I'm going to use some adhesive to put this on. And doesn't this ribbon just match perfect with it too? Now, another ribbon that I'm going to be using shortly on some of my cards is the Flirty Flamingo one, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. So there are a couple different options that you can use when it comes to ribbons for these cards. So if you don't have exactly the ones that I have, look at the colors in the back of the designer series paper, and you can pick one that you do. So that's the cool thing. I again made this an Easter Blessings card. So we're just going to adhere the two circles together. Yeah, that extra layer just makes it pop. I think so too. And then we're going to put that on with some dimensionals. Just a couple here. And my ribbon's not really setting straight, but you get the gist of it. And then what I did is I cut out one of the butterflies. Remember me telling you there was butterflies in those dies? And then I ran it through with the ornate floral embossing folder. Can you see that? So it just added a little bit of texture to that butterfly. And we're going to put that on with a dimensional as well. Oh, we might need to use a little one. So I'm just going to cut. I don't have little ones here. So when I don't have little ones, I just cut an edge, because then the edges are a little bit narrower, because you don't want your dimension to, be seen through it. And add that to there. And then I'm going to cut a little piece. And since my ribbon is liking to pull right here, I'm going to tie this part on right here instead of on the right hand side. We'll do it on the left hand side. And then cut those at an angle. And then again, without, I'm not using pearls and using our little our little dots. I'm going to add a white one to the center. So these are the polished dots. I'm going to add a little white one to the center of the bumblebee. And then I'll add a couple little pink ones down here at the bottom. So again, you can kind of change it out, use different embellishments. Quick, simple, easy card. And again, this one focuses in on the designer series paper being the star of the show and not so much the daffodil flowers. And I said daffodil and not tulip. Okay, so that is my next card that I wanted to showcase. Okay, now going completely off of a different concept that I mentioned, I'm going to show you this card. So, and this is the ribbon that I mentioned just a little bit ago. So this is the Flirty Flamingo gold ribbon, I think it's called. I can never find the names. Well, it's Flirty Flamingo, just says Flirty Flamingo, but it's got the little gold in it. And it goes with this product suite very nice as well. Now, when I first saw this piece of designer series paper, I was drawn to the daisies, okay? Because, yes, Beth, the butterflies are in that set. Yep. So when I first saw that piece of designer series paper, I was drawn to, here it is, because I want to show you it. I was drawn to the daisies. I don't know if it's because they were pink and had, you know, a little bit of pink in them, but we have daisy punches. We have the bigger one and the smaller one. So I decided to incorporate a daisy into this product suite and designing a card. So I chose to use that designer series paper, and then I used the punches. I used both of them actually to make my daisy. So for this one, I used the Flirty Flamingo for my card base. Again, your standard card base size. And then I have the buffalo. You guys, I'm really not with it today. The Bumblebee, 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of Very Vanilla that is 5 by 3 3/4. This I ran through the emboss machine with the textured embossing folder. So those we're going to go ahead and adhere together. So I did all of this adhering of the different layers onto the card before I added the ribbon, okay? And then you're gonna see here I have 2 different pieces of designer series paper, and I just kind of offset them just ever so much. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna add some adhesive to the back of this. But isn't that pretty? I mean, like, who would have thought that you could incorporate a different flower? But why not, right? They're both in there. And then we're going to adhere this down. I might get that out of the way. So here's where you have to kind of decide, do you want to put the whole thing at an angle? Do you want to put the yellow straight on? I actually put the whole thing a little bit at an angle, like that. And now we're going to go ahead and wrap around the ribbon. So for this one, I used the Flirty Flamingo ribbon just to kind of show you a different ribbon. And I thought it kind of popped a little bit more as well. Whoops. So I'm going to wrap this, and both of these ribbon are from the annual catalog. So they're not anything new in the January through, I call it the JJ catalog, January through June. Oops, and I'm out of adhesive. So just going to put that on there like that. And yeah, that usually I have one here when I'm out, but not tonight. I didn't think about that. We're going to put a little piece underneath here, and it's just going to go around here like that. And then I cut that really big, so I wasted that ribbon a little bit. Oops. Okay. And then I made this a Mother's Day card. And this one I did not double layer. I just added this on. This is just the one, right? So I'm going to put that on with a couple dimensionals. And then we're going to layer the flowers. So you can see here that, let me get my flowers here. Whoop, there we go. So what I did on this one, I cut out 2 of the big daisies, and then I cut out 2 of the little ones. So I wanted my flower to look nice and full, because the one here in the paper looks really nice and full. So you could have, if you wanted to, you could just add the one. You could have just added, you know, the big one and done like that. But again, I wanted to have my flower look really nice and full. So let me change my adhesive. I have one, oh, I have one here. All right, bear with me, guys. Usually I have it open and just sitting here, but I don't tonight. Okay, there we go. All right. Quick and easy refill change. All right, so then, there we go. Just gonna add a little bit of adhesive to that. And we're gonna put this on here and we're gonna cover in. So you're gonna kind of put it on here where you're gonna cover in the space so it looks a little bit more full. And then we're gonna do the same thing here. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of adhesive to the center of this one. You could also use glue dots if you wanted to, but you can see I'm off-centering it. So this one's gonna go now off-centered between those two. And then the last one's gonna be off-centered between that. And it just makes the flower look nice and full. And then I used a little circle punch to be able to add the center to it using Flirty Flamingo. Let me make sure I get this one. There we go. Can you see how nice and full that looks? So that's going to go on with some dimensionals up to the top here. And then I have my little Flirty Flamingo center. And so this flower will completely match the paper. So again, another little tip and trick there when it comes to, and actually I don't want to cover up that flower. So for this one, I'm going to put over here. I want more of those flowers to show. So I'm going to put that one over there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on here in the middle. And again, glue dots would work. And put that on. Look at that, so pretty. And then we'll top it off with, again, one of these polished. I'm gonna use a white one. Whoops. White in the center here. Oh, and I put a couple down there in the bottom. So we could do that too. Maybe down here I'll add some pink so they show up a little bit. Again, you can kind of mix and match these any way you want, because you get a whole pack of them on the sheet, lots of them. I think those are like $7, so not a lot. But there you have another way that you can use this paper and incorporate in the daisies. Isn't that neat? So again, I couldn't help but show that one because I thought it was really cool how that paper that's kind of where my eye went with this paper. And it just kind of, we're able to bring in another flower. Thank you, Philomena. Okay. So the next one I'm going to showcase for you, I'm looking at my time going, okay, we have about 10 minutes. It's going to be one with the stamped image, okay? Because I haven't done one that way yet. And again, you guys know that I like to show you a little bit of versatility with all of the different things that you can do. So this one uses one of the stamps from the stamp set. And then I cut it out with a coordinating die and colored it with my blends. Again, using the same paper, but this one I used the opposite sides of the designer series paper so that it didn't look quite as busy to make my focal point truly be this flower, okay? So I used the Pear Pizzazz on this one, and I love that little green heart paper. Isn't that green heart paper gorgeous? Again, you're gonna see that by just putting the paper down, you just kind of lose a little bit. Adding that layer gets a lot, adds a lot of pop to it. So that's the opposite side. But I love those green hearts. Okay, so for this one, we're going to adhere these two together. And then when I design my cards, I always look at what paper I have left. And I had a little scrap left of this paper that I used for a different card. So I just added this down to the bottom just to kind of break it up a little bit to have a little spot to wrap my ribbon around. So, and this is, so this is 5 1/4 by 4, and then the designer paper is 5 by 3 3/4, just your standard cutting sizes as you're adding layers. This one right here is cut 1 inch by 3 3/4. And I don't want my daffodils to be upside down, so I'm just gonna make sure I put them there like that. So it should go, mine's a little short, but it should go all the way to the end of that green paper, okay? And then we're gonna add some ribbon to this, again, using my beautiful lace ribbon. Just gonna cut a piece here. Where's my scissors? There they are. So I'm not sure if we'll get to the last card. If we don't, I'll at least show it to you. My last card does kind of show one of the, it's just a different color scheme of layering the daffodil together. So we'll see how far we get here. This one I'm putting the little lace up instead of down. Whoops, guess I gotta make sure it gets glued around there. There we go. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and add this down to our card base, like that. I just love our paper, and I find that adding, you can never add, You can never add too much paper to a card. That to me just makes it, enhances it so much. All right, so in advance, I've stamped and cut out the die or this piece with my machine. And then this is just gonna go on here with some dimensionals. And I just put the dimensionals back here on this big part. So let me add a couple of dimensionals here. We'll add 3. And then I just colored it. And so for the colors, I used, oh, Carol, I got you hooked on this one, right? It's so pretty. And Carol, I think this is the class that you purchased. So this will be coming to you this month. Actually, this class will be. Okay. Easter Blessings, again, I used you guys probably have noticed my pattern. When I use specific products, I use them on all of my cards for a class or a bundle. And I do that by default because I don't want anybody to have to spend a ton of money to be able to duplicate the cards. You can use the same products and you get the same look. So for this, I used Old Olive and I used Daffodil Delight. And I just colored in all of the greenery first. This is my Old Olive Light. So I'm just gonna color. If you like to color, this one's perfect. Nothing fancy here, but so pretty. Let's see here. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally color the flowers. I think that's all the greenery. I'm comparing the two right now. And then I'm gonna use my light Daffodil Delight. Let me get a better daffodil. I grabbed a couple. I need to go through my daffodil markers and get rid of some of them that are just icky. All right, I'm gonna color the daffodil with the light. And then what you can do is you can come back in and highlight with the dark, which is what I did on my card. So you'll see here what I did in just a couple minutes. So I'll finish coloring this one and then I'll kind of show you my highlighting. So if you wanted to duplicate my highlighting, you knew where I did it. How's that sound? Because I really want to still get to that last card. Now let me show you guys it. Okay, so then what I did is I used the dark one. And for the dark one, I just kind of went on top of all these lines. This is gonna bring this card to life. So on all of these lines, I used the small one on this and followed all of the little different lines. And again, you'll see here, and then I did color the whole center of this flower with the dark. But you will see how that just brings that right to life. Can you kind of see that? And then the same thing with the dark Old Olive. So I went over top of some of this light with the dark as well. Just kind of bringing it in a little bit. I probably used the other side, but you get the gist of it, right? Okay. And then I gotta add my little piece of ribbon here. And then I top the flower off with some of those little pearls. Ooh, aqua painters might work too though, Courtney. That's a good idea. Okay. So there you guys have it. Again, just showing you using the stamp set. No dies, well, the die to cut out the flower, but isn't that a pretty card? I love it. Okay, so let me show you guys the last card. I'm not sure I'll take the time to put it all together, but this one's probably my favorite. Yes, and the card base on that one is Pear Pizzazz. I will be posting pictures of all of these if I don't get it posted tonight. Usually it's Friday morning before I go to work that I get that all out there. I will try my best to do it tonight, but usually my kids get home from dance and we get talking because I haven't seen them all day, and then I get tired and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, you guys know the story, right? Okay, this is probably my favorite card right here, and I know it's because of the colors. I like pink, but this one, I was looking at the paper, and I wanted to duplicate this flower as my focal point here in the middle, okay? So this is a template. This is my go-to template. You guys have seen this template from me many different times. I love the half a different piece of DSP on the top and the bottom, using that ribbon in the middle. So the card base is your standard 5.5 by 8.5, and then my Flirty Flamingo is 5 by 3 3/4. And my two pieces of Designer Series paper are 3.5 by 2.5. And then I just kind of layer right in the middle is where I put my piece of ribbon before I lay that down. Again, you're going to see the same punch right here. And then here, I also embossed this black with that ornate floral embossing folder from the annual catalog. My flowers put together the exact same way that I showcased for you on my first card that I made. And so I'm trying to find that one here. I've got a mess going on. But the flowers put together the exact same way it was on this first card that I did. This one I just had the flower going the opposite way. And then what I did is I used the Sprig Punch for my greenery to add a little bit of greenery behind that. Isn't that cute? So the Sprig Punch is from our annual catalog. Now we do have a new punch that is in our January through June catalog called the Bow Punch. I didn't have that one yet, which is why I used the sprigs, but you can see it's still made for a very, very pretty card. So let me bring all of these in. Now this is a class that I have open right now that you can purchase. So the link will be in the description of the video if it's something that you're interested in. And if anybody's interested in putting in a minimum $35 order, you will get 3 of these cards sent to you already assembled. And I'll also throw in that cute little box that I made. So the cute little box, if anybody joined me a little bit late, it's a no adhesive box where you just fold the paper. I'll include the measurements for this as well, but it holds candy, Kit Kat, chapstick, anything that you might want in here. You can even customize this to make it be a little bit, oops, I forget that you gotta do one at a time to fold that in. There we go. But isn't that so cool? And once you kind of have those score lines in there, it just kind of knows how it wants to be folded and it will do it all on its own. But such a cute little project. And again, this was one of the things that I learned at my team meeting with my awesome team on Tuesday. So no adhesive. How cute is that? Alrighty, so anyway, like I said, if anyone's interested in this as a class, please let me know. You can send me a message right through Facebook, or you can email me. My email is right in the description of my Facebook page here. And I'll be having all of those links in my description by at least noon tomorrow at the latest. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I think next week I'm going to be showcasing one more week of some celebration product before I move on to some other awesome things I have going on. But I want to just say thank you all so very much. Remember, for if you comment and let me know, one of the things I'm giving away is 2 of these stamp sets. We'll draw for them next week. All you have to do is comment. I'm going to be reading all these comments. My original plan was to anybody who put in an order was going to be able to receive these stamp sets to help me earn that incentive trip. But I've already earned the incentive trip. It happened today, like at 4 o'clock, thanks to wonderful people. So instead, I'm giving away these stamp sets just by commenting maybe why you enjoy watching my Facebook Lives, why you enjoy following me, maybe something I could do better or different for you, or by letting me know something you'd like me to showcase on a Facebook Live. So we'll be drawing for these next week in addition to our 2 normal prizes for sharing. So thank you all so very much for joining me tonight and letting me share my amazing news with all of you first. And the timing couldn't have been better that it happened right before our Facebook Live. So thank you everyone, and I look forward to seeing you back here next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.